Why can't you stop thinking about some things? One of the strangest things our brains do is refuse to let go of unfinished things. Have you ever noticed that you can completely forget about something for weeks, and then the second someone mentions it, your brain it immediately picks it back up? Or you'll finish a season of a TV show and tell yourself, I'm going to go to bed. Then the episode ends right in the middle of something important. Now you need to know what happens, right? So just like one more episode, right? Everybody's experienced that feeling. And there's actually a name for it. It's called the Zeigarnik Effect. The Zeigarnik Effect is our tendency to remember unfinished things better than finished ones. Once something feels complete, our brain has a lot easier time letting it go. But if it's left unresolved, our brain keeps pulling us back in. And at first that just sounds like an interesting psychology fact. But once you start paying attention to it, you realize it's everywhere. It's one of the reasons great storytellers are so good at keeping your attention. They don't answer every question immediately. They introduce tension. They leave something unresolved. They create curiosity. And not in a manipulative way. They simply understand that people naturally want closure. Netflix obviously figured this out years ago. They don't end episodes after everything has been wrapped up neatly. They end them right before the answer. Your brain hates unfinished stories. Marketing works the same way. And one of the biggest mistakes I see companies make is trying to explain everything all at once and overload the customer. The headline tells you everything. The ad tells you everything. The website tells you everything right when you get there. Every question gets answered immediately. And that sounds helpful. I get it. But curiosity disappears. There's no reason to keep reading. There's no reason to stay. Good marketing creates enough clarity that people understand the value while leaving just enough curiosity that they want to continue. That's a difficult balance, I admit. But there's a fine line between curiosity and confusion. Because confused people leave. Curious people, they lean in. Those aren't the same thing. The goal isn't to hide information either. The goal is to create a reason to take the next step. That's why the best headlines don't answer the entire question. They answer a part of it. Or they ask a question that piques your curiosity. For example, the best YouTube titles don't summarize the whole video. They introduce an idea that your brain wants to resolve. Even good sales conversations work this way. The best salespeople aren't rushing to dump every feature onto the table. They are uncovering the problem one layer at a time. Each answer naturally creates the next question. The conversation keeps moving because the customer's curiosity keeps moving. You can even see this inside of the most successful, well-established brands. The companies that keep people engaged aren't always the ones producing the most content. They're producing connected content. One piece naturally leads into the next. Each video answers one question while creating another. That's one of the reasons I started making these psychology videos. Each principle explains one part of human behavior. Then it naturally points towards another one. The most recent group, I started with the mere exposure effect, which led into loss aversion. Loss aversion led into the halo effect. And now we're talking about the Zeigarnik effect. Each concept builds on the last one. And that's not an accident. That's how people learn. But that's how people learn. And, but there's another side of this that has nothing to do with marketing. The Zeigarnik Effect explains why unfinished projects weigh on us. Why that business idea you never started still pops into your head all the time. Why that email you forgot to send just keeps resurfacing. Why something you've been putting off occupies mental space every day, even if you don't notice it all the time. It weighs on you, subconsciously or consciously. Your brain wants a resolution. It keeps reminding you because, from its perspective, the task isn't complete yet. That's why sometimes the hardest part of a project is simply starting. Because once you've started, your brain, it wants to finish. It's one of the reasons momentum is so powerful. Completion creates relief. Avoidance creates mental clutter. I think that's a lesson marketers can learn from, too. Sometimes we're so focused on creating the perfect campaign that we never publish anything. We never start. We wait until everything feels complete before anyone has ever even seen it. Meanwhile, someone else published version 1, then published version 2, then version 3. Before long, they've built trust, experience, and momentum simply because they were willing to begin. And the more I study psychology, the more I realize marketing isn't really about tricks. It's about understanding people. The Zeigarnik Effect isn't teaching us how to manipulate attention. It's reminding us how attention naturally works. People, they seek resolution. People seek understanding. People seek closure. The marketers who understand that don't, how do I want to word this? The marketers who understand that don't fight human nature. They build around it. And that's usually where the best marketing comes from. This is why understanding people will always matter more than understanding marketing. And I hope that clicked with you. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a fantastic topic and is super interesting and frankly underrated. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week.